What if I told you that the camera companies releasing these tiny little pocket cameras right now are actively trying to control what you see on YouTube? Not through better products, not through honest reviews, but through free trips to Cancun, invitation-only launch events, and paid influencer deals, all with one condition: don't compare our camera to the competition. I was invited to one of those events, I turned it down. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why. This is the most honest, unsponsored, no-strings-attached comparison between the DJI Pocket 4 and the Insta360 Luna Ultra that you are going to find anywhere on the internet right now. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to understand something about these cameras that most creators simply won't tell you. Stay with me, this one matters. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm someone who has been using pocket gimbal cameras and action cameras for years. I've tested them in the water, on bikes, during travel, and in pitch-black streets at midnight. I buy most of my gear with my own money, and when I do accept loaner units, I tell you up front. Here's the deal with this video. Insta360 sent me the Luna Ultra as a loaner to test that's fully disclosed. The DJI Pocket 4 sitting right next to it, I bought that myself, out of pocket. No affiliation, no deal, no free hotel room in Toronto required. I've also got to be real with you, the DJI Pocket 4 Pro hasn't been announced yet as of this recording, and neither has a single lens version of the Luna Ultra. So yes, this is a slightly lopsided comparison, but people are buying these cameras right now, today, and you deserve to know what you're actually getting. So let's get into it. The weird comparison explained. Let me quickly explain why this comparison even exists, because on paper it looks a little strange. You've got the DJI Pocket 4, a single-lens compact gimbal camera at a lower price point, and then you've got the Insta360 Luna Ultra, a dual-lens compact gimbal with a detachable remote, more resolution, and a higher price to match. Normally, you'd compare these against their true equivalents. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro, which is rumored for around June 2026, though US buyers may face complications since the Pro variant currently has no FCC registration, meaning it may not officially launch in the US market at all, would be the natural rival to the Luna Ultra. But here's the thing, we don't have that yet. And while we're waiting, both companies are locked in this bizarre PR battle, trying to one-up each other with announcements, spec sheets, and yes, sponsored influencer trips. I don't play that game. So instead of waiting and leaving you with no useful information, I'm going to give you this real-world footage comparison right now with honest commentary, no filter on my opinions, and zero incentive to steer you toward anything. My only goal is to help you make a smart buying decision. Cool? Let's go! Specs and key differences. Before we dive into the footage, let me give you a quick 60-second breakdown of the key differences so you know what you're looking at. The DJI Pocket 4 is a single-lens gimbal camera shooting up to 4K. It's more affordable, compact, and it just works out of the box with very little setup fuss. The DJI ecosystem is mature, the app is solid, and the gimbal stabilization has always been class-leading. The Insta360 Luna Ultra has two lenses, a main wide-angle Leica summicron lens paired with a 1-inch 8K sensor and a secondary telephoto lens on a 3-inch sensor offering up to 6x lossless zoom and 12x total zoom. It shoots 8K on the main sensor, supports Dolby Vision, and offers 14 stops of dynamic range. It also comes with a detachable 2-inch old touchscreen, not just a simple remote, but a fully functional touchscreen controller. It's co-engineered with Leica, which is reflected in both the lens quality and the color science. It retails at $769.99. The price is higher, but so is the ceiling. Now here's the critical thing to keep in mind as you watch this footage. One of these cameras has a hardware zoom lens. The other does not. That gap will become very, very obvious in a few minutes. But first, let's start where most people live: natural daylight shooting. Daylight footage comparison. All right, here we go. Both cameras are running their default factory settings: 4K at 30 frames per second, 1x main lens. No color grading, no post-processing tricks. What you see is what these cameras give you straight out of the box. And the first thing I want you to notice, look at the exposure. On the DJI Pocket 4, things are coming out slightly overexposed, a little pale and washed out in the highlights. It's subtle, but it's there. On the Luna Ultra, the exposure is better balanced. Colors have more punch. Contrast is tighter. Now, is that better? Well, it depends on what you're going for. Here's a nuance that most reviewers skip right over. There's a meaningful difference between colors that are accurate and colors that look good on a phone screen for 2 seconds. The Luna Ultra leans toward the latter. It makes things pop in a way that photographs well and looks immediately appealing on Instagram or TikTok. The Pocket 4 is a little more faithful to what your eyes actually see, which some people will love and others will find flat. When I'm looking at skin tones, the DJI is actually doing something interesting. It appears to gently smooth and soften facial details even without a beauty filter turned on. That's just the default processing. Some people will consider that a feature, others will consider it a flaw. Keep that in mind when you're watching talking head style videos. Looking at the reds, the greens, the yellows in the environment Insta360 makes those colors feel a little more alive and almost cinematic. But again, that's a stylistic choice baked into the processing, not necessarily the truth of what was in front of the lens. Bottom line for daylight, both cameras are genuinely good. If you want social media ready color right out of the camera, Insta360 edges ahead. If you want footage that more closely resembles what reality actually looked like and plan to color grade yourself, DJI is the cleaner starting point. Zoom and lens test okay. This section is where things get genuinely unfair, and I say that not to be dramatic, but because the difference between these two cameras is so obvious here that there's really no graceful way to spin it. The Insta360 Luna Ultra has a dedicated telephoto lens on a secondary 1.3-inch sensor, delivering up to 6x lossless zoom and 12x total zoom. The DJI Pocket 4 does not have a second lens, it only has digital zoom, which is essentially just cropping into the sensor. You're not getting more detail, you're just getting fewer pixels, blown up. Look at that. The Luna Ultra's telephoto lens is sharp, detailed, and clean even when punched in. The Pocket 4, at its equivalent digital zoom, is visibly softer. If you're shooting products, wildlife, events, anything where you need to punch in on your subject without physically walking closer, this is a massive practical difference. But here's where it gets almost absurdly lopsided. Push the Luna Ultra all the way to 12x zoom, 12, and look at this footage from roughly 300 meters away. That level of reach and clarity from a camera this size is genuinely astonishing. Now, to be fair, a DJI Pocket 4 Pro would likely include a second lens and close this gap considerably. But as things stand today, if zoom capability matters to you at all, the Luna Ultra wins this category without even trying hard. One more thing worth noting. The minimum focus distance on the telephoto lens of the Luna Ultra is impressively short. Holding an object at arm's length at elbow distance, it locks focus cleanly and quickly. For product reviewers and unboxers, that kind of close-up clarity at a telephoto focal length is really useful. Gimbal stability test now. Let's talk about the one thing both these cameras are fundamentally designed to do better than anything else: keep your footage smooth when your body refuses to cooperate. Starting with running. Both cameras handle a steady jog without any drama. The gimbal absorbs most of the vertical bounce, and the horizon stays locked. Push into a harder run with bigger footfalls, and you'll get occasional micro bumps, but nothing that would ruin a shot. Important reminder here, though, these are not action cameras. Don't drop them in the river expecting them to survive. My own Pocket 3 survived a 25 MP cycling drop, but I got lucky. Treat these like cameras with very good shock tolerance, not waterproof adventure tools. For the in-vehicle test roof off, window down, pointing outward at roughly 60 kilometers an hour, neither camera had any trouble maintaining stabilization. The gimbal on both held firm through sustained wind. You do notice some autofocus hunting between near and far subjects, the antenna post versus the open road, for example, but that's expected behavior at speed, and both cameras handle it similarly. On the bike, both cameras again perform admirably. Colors look slightly warmer and more appealing on the Pocket 4 during movement, interestingly enough, and rotation tracking, panning left, panning right while moving, is smooth on both. No complaints from either camera in that department. These are solid, mature gimbal systems. Neither one is going to embarrass you. The question is everything else that wraps around the gimbal, and that's where the differences stack up. Focus tracking test. This next test is one I find genuinely revealing because it tells you how well the camera understands what you actually want it to look at versus what it automatically decides to prioritize. I held an object, a small review product, directly in front of each camera at close distance. On the DJI Pocket 4, it locked focus instantly and kept it locked. Even when my face drifted into the side of the frame, it stayed on the object. Clean, predictable, reliable, exactly what you want. On the Insta360 Luna Ultra, Ultra, and I want to be fair here, this could possibly be fixed with a settings tweak, but on the default configuration, the moment my face appeared anywhere in the frame, the camera immediately abandoned the product I was holding and jumped to my face. Every single time. Pull my face out, it refocuses on the object. Bring it back in nope, straight back to the face. For vloggers and talking head content creators, face priority focus is great. But for product reviewers, for anyone who ever holds something up and wants the camera to see that thing, this behavior is genuinely frustrating. And when it happens to you mid-take, mid-sentence, you feel it. Out of the box. On default settings, DJI wins this round clearly. And the reason I emphasize default settings is because most people never dive into their menus beyond what the camera ships with. Real-world usability means something. Low light and night footage, and here we are at the part of the video that I think is the most fascinating and honestly the most philosophically interesting when it comes to modern cameras. Low light footage. Let's start at sunset. Both cameras handle the transition from late afternoon light fairly well, though neither one truly shines here. The Pocket 4 does a slightly better job rendering the sky tones and the warmer colors that were actually present. The Luna Ultra gets a little aggressive with some of the midtones, making trees and vegetation look a bit strange, almost artificially textured. Then we move into full night mode. This is where I want you to pay close attention. What you're looking at right now, this almost fully lit-looking beach scene, is essentially pitch black in real life. I mean that literally. There is almost no visible light out there beyond the boardwalk, and yet both cameras, using their low light modes, are pulling so much light from the scene that it looks like twilight. It looks almost beautiful. But here's the honest truth. It's a lie. A very appealing lie, but a lie. These cameras are manufacturing light that doesn't exist. They're stacking frames, boosting sensors, and essentially making a creative interpretation of the scene rather than a faithful recording of it. Is that bad? Not necessarily if you're making content for social media and you want it to look good. This is incredibly useful. Your followers will never know the difference. But if you're someone who cares about documentary accuracy or using this footage as a true record of what something looked like, be aware. Both cameras are doing this. Neither one is faithfully representing reality in low light. On the streets, following traffic, walking under mixed lighting, both cameras perform very similarly here. There's mild color cast preference either way, but no meaningful winner. Night skin tones are decent on both at arm's length, and even at very close range under a foot away, both cameras maintain enough detail to be usable. One small but consistent observation, the Pocket 4 tends to push warm tones a bit strongly in street lighting scenarios, making everything look more golden than it actually was. The Luna Ultra goes the other direction, and can sometimes look slightly cooler and flatter. The truth, in most of these situations, sat somewhere between both cameras. Neither nailed it perfectly. But here's the thing, both cameras are making that imperfect image look genuinely enjoyable to watch. And for most people, most of the time. That's exactly what you need from a camera that fits in your shirt pocket. Final verdict. So, after all of that, all the footage, all the tests, all the scenarios, where do we land? Here's my honest take. If you need a reliable, compact, easy-to-use gimbal camera and the DJI Pocket 4 fits your budget, it is a legitimately excellent camera. The color science is faithful, the focus tracking is dependable, the gimbal is mature and proven. It's not flashy, but it works every time. If you need zoom, real, optical, hardware zoom, the Insta360 Luna Ultra is in a completely different league. That dedicated telephoto lens, with 6x lossless zoom and up to 12x total reach, makes it a fundamentally different kind of tool. The 8K resolution gives you room to crop in post without sacrificing quality, and the detachable 2-inch OLED touchscreen, which functions as a fully interactive controller, not just a basic remote, is genuinely useful for solo creators. You're paying $769.99 versus the Pocket 4's lower price point, but you are getting meaningfully more for that money. Now here's the caveat that I think is actually the most important thing in this video. This comparison is incomplete by design. The DJI Pocket 4 Pro is expected around June 2026, though if you're in the US, there's a real chance it won't get official retail availability due to FCC regulatory issues. Meanwhile, Insta360 is also preparing to release the Luna Pro, a single lens, lower-cost sibling to the Luna Ultra. Once both of those are fully out in the open, we can do a true apples-to-apples comparison at each price tier. When those cameras are in my hands, I'll have a full deep dive comparison up immediately. If you want to be notified the moment that video drops, you know what to do. Until then, don't let sponsored influencer trips to tropical locations make your buying decisions for you. Watch real footage. Trust your own eyes. And if this video helped you see something more clearly, that's everything. That's going to do it for this one. If you watched all the way to the end genuinely, thank you. It means a lot. And it actually does help the channel more than anything else you could do. If you found this comparison useful, drop a like on the video. It helps more people find honest content like this instead of the sponsored stuff. And if you have questions about either camera specs, use cases, anything at all, drop them in the comments. I read everything. The Pocket 4 Pro vs Luna Ultra full comparison is coming. Make sure you don't miss it. Until next time, keep creating. I'll see you in the next one.